Welcome, traveler, to the ethereal realm of Journey, where you will embark on a mystical pilgrimage through a vast and desolate desert. While the game offers no explicit narrative, its captivating visuals, unforgettable music, and evocative environmental storytelling create a rich and immersive world steeped in symbolism, open to your interpretations. You are a red-cloaked traveler, alone. There is nothing else to do but explore the sands. Stone markers at the top of a large sand dune attract your attention. Climbing towards them, you reach the summit, revealing a mountain in the distance. A light shines through it and pierces the sky as if to serve as a beacon. Traveling through the sands, you discover a platform. The top reveals a lighted symbol. It glows and begins to dance around you, and the length of your scarf grows. With the call of a single chime, small glowing red parchments imbue your scarf with lighted symbols and power, allowing you to briefly take flight. Continuing to explore the landscape, ruins hold the secrets of the ancient civilization that once thrived here as it crumbles and rejoins the desert. Glyphs and murals adorn walls of temple-like structures, depicting the tales of creation, destruction, and rebirth, providing glimpses into the history of the world. Approaching a gate guarded by a stone figure sharing your silhouette, you let out a single chime, and it calls you to meditate. A bright light shines, teleporting you to a translucent space, seeing only a tall, white-robed figure, and in the distance, the lighted peak of the mighty mountain. A somber song rings as the bright room becomes a mural around you, telling the story of the mountain. Its pure light beaming in the sky and sparking life in all things, the stars in the sky, the birds in the air, the plants in the ground, and to the white-robed ancestors. One last bright mote of light shines and becomes a tall red cloth outlined in gold. This is all for now, and the gate ahead of you opens. Passing through the tall passage, you are greeted by more crumbling stone structures. Motes of light and pieces of red cloth can be seen, and as you sing, life breathes into the faded cloth once more. The worn and tattered banners once again become a vibrant red, embroidered with gold markings. As you release the small red cloths from their stone cages, they dance around you and begin to create a bridge, a clear path forward. The red cloth guides you along the bridge as the gold symbols on your scarf and the bridge illuminate the way, giving you the energy to effortlessly glide across. Yet another statue halts your path, calling once again for meditation. Another white-robed figure greets you and shares its wisdom. The people of the land use the red cloth to create their civilization, building great pillars and structures, expanding and building as they grew. another piece adding to the mystery of the past civilization. The pouring sands beyond the statue now separate, revealing the next path. Climbing the steps reveals the desert once more. Now it feels massive and daunting. The endless sands stretch past the horizon, with only the mountain standing tall as a mote of light soars across the sky like a shooting star. Once again, you wander the sands, spotting a stone temple with worn and faded cloth flowing above it. Releasing more red cloth kites, they swim around you and illuminate the gold markings on your scarf. Together, you explore and find more of the red cloth wishing to be released. More sparks of light beam across the sky as you walk up each dune and slide down the sands, adding motes that lengthen your scarf and finding more of the red cloth kites to release. They chirp to one another as they flock together, swimming through the air and accompanying you through the sands of the massive desert to another structure. This one still rings of machinery. Sand swirls in the air as the stone works rumble, obeying the will of its former masters as more of the red cloth kites call out to one another, hoping to be freed from their cages. The stone gears become louder as you climb the pillar, and another stone statue appears at the top. Another moment for more of this mystery to be revealed. The white-robed ancestors continue to grow their empire. As they flourished, more pillars were built, more red cloth was used, and plants were destroyed to make way for these great buildings as they reached higher and higher into the sky. The prison opens and the red kites, now released, chirp and call to each other in excitement, scooping you up in their flight. The entire flock now descends the great sand dunes. A sense of adventure and wonder fill the air as you merrily surf the waves of sand, all while witnessing the shocking beauty of the great ruins, of a civilization gone, forgotten by time, and then the fall. Plummeting down, the once warm air, light, and euphoric bliss have been replaced with a dark and foreboding atmosphere. Another statue stands in front of a gate, another moment of meditation. The white-cloaked ancestor shows the red cloth fade and the lights going out in the great pillars. The red cloth was diminishing. Fighting over the depleting resources began. Tribes formed and developed weaponry to protect or fight for what precious resources were left. These stone sentinels would seek out the red cloth. No longer would the red kites glide carefree in the light. Instead, it was devoured to power these war machines. Once again, the gate opens. A dark and ominous cavern, ready to swallow you whole. Light can barely pierce the roof of the tunnels. A sense of dread begins to rise. What lies ahead? What about what was left behind? The gates shut behind you. There is no sense in staying here. The only choice is to go forward. Schools of small red cloth hide in pockets of the collapsed ruins, as if hiding from a great cold-blooded predator, and the red cloth banners grow up from the ground, swaying like kelp on a seafloor. It's just what you need to cross these dark tunnels. Once more, a kite has come to guide you, beckoning you to follow, descending deeper. The stone mechanisms can be heard shifting again. The skeletal remains of stone serpents watch as you walk through the tunnel, coiled as if ready to strike. All eyes watching as the red kite ahead continues to chirp as it swims through the thick air. Suddenly, a serpent strikes. The long, flowing red cloth now tatters and scraps. Each piece of light fades as it is devoured. For this war machine, the hunt never ended, and you are looking quite delicious with the light in your scarf and the red of your cloak. Carefully, you navigate the tunnels, avoiding the spotlight of the serpent's gaze. One last descent. Coasting down the sands, the spotlight's white hue shifts from yellow to red. The serpent sees you and is getting closer. A second stone serpent appears racing to devour you whole. Passing the stone markers, a lighted gold pillar brightly illuminates, protecting you and halting the serpent's pursuit. Chiming once again, meditation follows. The white-robed guardian towers over you, revealing the tragic deaths that followed the war. Destroyed by their own greed, the sands of the desert took back the land from the once great cities. All that is left are the stone graves, monuments to the dead. With no hope, a mote of light falls from the sky, landing atop a sandy hill, and sparks a red-cloaked traveler. The gates ahead open, and lanterns glow in the same radiance of your scarf and the pillar that saved you from the sentinels. Your chime activates the various glyphs, revealing murals around the pillar, raising a lighted aura. Any glyphs now are easily seen, lighted by the power of the rising aura. Schools of red cloth emerge, and large red cloth kites join as you glide effortlessly higher. Quickly you rise, along with the other red cloth creatures swimming through the rising tide, the end fast approaching. Once again before the gate, you sing another chime. This time, glyphs begin to float in the air and converge around you as you sit in meditation. A white-cloaked sage appears before you, and now the rest is revealed. The red-cloaked traveler is you, and it's your predetermined fate to brave the winds and climb the mountain. The sage vanishes and the gate ahead opens, the base of the mountain. The cold mountain path is harsh, and chimes become somber as the power in your long scarf drains much faster than it did before. The overwhelming cold winds drain you. Slowly you trudge forward, seeking refuge behind tall stone markers and inside crumbled machines and barren ruins as more stone sentinels prowl from above. Each step is heavier and more difficult than the last, the red cloth paths frozen as you ascend. The snowstorm above pours and the wind howls as you pass the stone grave markers of those who attempted this climb before you. The frigid wind attempts to push you off your path. Weak, tired, and cold, desperately pushing forward with all your might, you finally collapse in the icy snow. The white-cloaked ancestors appear, breathing life and energy back into you. You are at full energy, free to fly to the peak of the mountain as you are propelled past the stone serpents and beyond the clouds. The experience is heavenly and glorious as you pass through the gates, in a beautiful flight, higher and higher, alongside thriving and diverse red cloth kites. You reach the peak of your journey. Landing on the top of the mountain, it's time to walk into the light and leave a stone marker of your own. You have reached the top of the mountain, the end of your journey. Now where do you go? Maybe you start all over again. The mountain sends off another mote of light, another spark to begin a new journey. But what if this time you had someone with you, a companion? You can't see their name or speak with them, but you can communicate through the chimes you sing as you illuminate each other's scarf. The tone of the game changes slightly as you take this journey with someone, concerned for their well-being, sharing the secrets hidden throughout the ruins, and even walking into the light together. Journey is a very personal experience and feels like a metaphor for life itself, inviting players to reflect on their personal paths and the universal themes of existence: life, death, and rebirth. The early levels brim with wonder and mystery, mirroring the innocence and curiosity of childhood. As the player descends into the tunnels, a sense of anxiety and uncertainty emerges, symbolizing the weight of adult responsibilities. The rapid ascent through the temple reflects the fleeting nature of time. As the journey nears its end, the challenges intensify, echoing the struggles faced in life's final chapters. Ultimately, you pass on, ascending into the heavens, leaving behind a gravestone as you step into the light. Yet this conclusion marks the start of a new beginning. Who did you think of when you found another person in your journey? A member of your family? A friend? A love? Let me know in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And I'll see you next time, traveler.